Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host God of Heroics, and today I'm gonna do pretty much a rant. I didn't really script anything out or lay out my thoughts in any clear way, so I'm just gonna say what I gotta say, and I just hope you guys understand. So the last episode of Daima that came out, which was episode 12, debuted the official canon version of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and to be honest, I thought it was kind of cool. It was nice to see Vegeta actually get that form. One, because I have been saying for a while that Vegeta would be able to use Super Saiyan 3, and I'm pretty sure it was alluded to in Dragon Ball Super when he fought Trunks, and Trunks told him, oh, go Super Saiyan 3, use that form that Goku used, and he basically told him, like, oh, I don't need something like that when I have power like this, and then, that's when he showed off Super Saiyan Blue and his God Key and all that stuff. So, aside from that, it was pretty cool to see, especially since he used the form and then, in my opinion, used it better than Goku. And then he also defeated the Tamagami pretty effortlessly, and it was pretty cool to me. Like, I just liked it for what it was. But people on the internet, even Vegeta fans, just hated it, and there are several reasons for this. One reason was because people were like, "Well, we've already seen stronger abilities or stronger forms in Dragon Ball Super," but that I don't think that should make this any less cool. Like, obviously you've seen, God and Blue Evolution and Master Ultra Instinct, but that shouldn't take away from seeing Vegeta achieve this form and all that. Because one, this is before Super, so it should be interesting to you guys that Vegeta trained enough to obtain Super Saiyan 3 on his own, which is what he did to get God Key. And you guys seem to not appreciate that, even though you're Vegeta fans. I don't know why you don't appreciate your own favorite character, achieving his own goals by himself. But even more so, it does display that this is when he closed the gap between him and Goku, and it also tells us that before Goku used his God ritual, that technically Vegeta was stronger than Goku. Because when he used his Enraged Super Saiyan 2 to fight Beerus after he slapped Bulma, it was stated that his Super Saiyan 2 transformation at that point was about as strong as Goku's Super Saiyan 3. And if you look at this in perspective, that means that Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3 would be stronger than Goku's Super Saiyan 3, showing that Vegeta, at least from that moment up until the God Ritual, was stronger than Goku. Don't know why that doesn't seem to be a thing that you guys just care about at all, but it's probably because you're not really thinking about it in the same context that I am. But hopefully this does help you guys see it in that way. Another reason that I've heard that people don't really care about this is mostly because they're just like, yeah, it's a form we've seen before. It's not like it introduced anything new aside from Vegeta having Super Saiyan 3. But I think that is wrong. I think this did introduce something new. Not only, I mean, yeah, Vegeta having Super Saiyan 3 and it being our first canon appearance of him having it, but there's the idea that Vegeta uses Super Saiyan 3 better than Goku. Because the way Goku fights, he, is kind of wild. He's adaptive and all that stuff when it comes to combat. But he uses a lot of movements, especially when you see him fight Kid Buu. Like, his movements are pretty, the same as they would be if he was Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta is a lot more conservative. I think Vegeta understands a little bit more conserving his ki, because Vegeta is a more ki based fighter, so he would conserve his ki and stamina a little bit more. And also, when Goku unlocked Super Saiyan 3, he learned it in Otherworld when there was no physical limitations to his body, and yes, he didn't have his physical body, and so when he got Super Saiyan 3 in his physical form, when he had a body, it was a lot more draining on him, simply because his body hadn't caught up to the key aspect of using Super Saiyan 3, while Vegeta unlocked the ability through pure training with his physical body, so his body was fully caught up with the idea of Super Saiyan 3 and the amount of ki consumption that it has. And in addition to this, we see this in the battle with Tamagami number 2, when Vegeta uses Super Saiyan 3. Yes, he's kicking his ass, but the movements he's making are very subtle. Well, if you watch it again, you'll see he hits really hard, but he doesn't use a lot of energy. It's kind of like when Naruto went Baryon mode, and he was told by Kurama, like, don't make any movements that aren't necessary. It's very similar to that, especially like, and even like when he's flying, when he's like doing his kicks and shit. Vegeta's not really like outlandish and wild with his attacks. He's, only doing the moves that are necessary. And I think this is how the form is supposed to be used. But it is what it is. That's just how I see it. You guys don't see it that way. The final reason that I have heard about people not caring about Super Saiyan 3, I actually heard from Classic Man D. Now, if you don't know, he is a content creator. I mostly see his stuff on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. But anyway, what's important is that usually in a lot of his videos, he and I are mostly on the same page about things. Like there are some videos here and there where obviously I'll have like a differing opinion, but sometimes like the way he comes off and explains his opinion, I'm like, oh, that makes sense in that context. But this one, it's like it is what it is. Like it's just a matter of what you guys like and what you don't like. So anyway, his explanation was that while he did go over the idea, that we've seen stronger powers in Super and all that, he said that he personally didn't really care for Daima like that because the characters got turned back into kids. And I thought that was interesting because I've seen in like comment sections and stuff when people have been posting screenshots and posting the videos all over the internet, a lot of people, aside from saying, oh my God, you're spoiling it, a lot of people have stated that they didn't care because Vegeta was in a kid body. And they're like, oh, this would be way cooler if he was in an adult body. Why does it matter? Like, I don't understand why seeing Vegeta go Super Saiyan 3 for the first time as in an adult body would be better than seeing him do it in Daima in this kid body. Because like all in all, it's still Vegeta who trained hard and got this form, using the form and displaying how good he is with it. The size of his body at that moment shouldn't really be that big of a deal. But anyway, it's this key thing right here, which not just the classic band, but a lot of people on the internet have been using for their reasoning. A lot of you just straight up don't like Daima, and most people haven't liked Daima since seeing that they get turned into kids. And that's interesting to me for one really big glaring reason. Dragon Ball Daima starts off with the overarching villain, or who seems to be the overarching villain right now, wishing for Goku and his crew to be children again. And then when they get turned into children, he goes off and, a bunch of shenanigans ensue. Goku and his crew go to the demon world. And while in the demon world, they, have a lot of nonsense that they get into, some shenanigans. But, one where they're fighting Gendarmerie soldiers, and the whole thing with the people getting hella taxed and their lifespan taken away, and then they're looking for the Dragon Balls, of course. And isn't this how GT basically started? Goku gets wished to be a kid, he gets turned into a child, then him and his basically childlike friends, him, Pan, and Trunks go on this adventure looking for the Dragon Balls, ending up in a different world where, a lot of shenanigans ensue, fighting different silly types of villains and seeing monsters that they've never seen before. And, then the whole thing with people that tax the hell out of their people and whatnot. Like, it's absolutely insane. Like, and y'all glaze GT and act like it's the best thing that ever happened. But here's my thing. Do you guys like GT? And I know like the general answer that you guys would probably say, at least the GT stance, is yes, we like GT, but like, do you really like GT? Because when you ask people what they liked about GT, who their favorite characters are, what they like, specific stuff about GT that they got into, they talk about Super Saiyan 4. And that leads me to believe that you guys don't like GT, you like Super Saiyan 4. Even when characters were being announced for Sparking Zero and we were getting the GT pack, people complained that Super 17 wasn't in it. But I don't think you guys complained that Super 17 was missing because you wanted Super 17 in the game. I think you guys said that because you wanted Super 17 to be in the game because he's one of the characters that Super Saiyan 4 Goku fights. I mean, that seems to be how it really is, because no one, no one, actually cares for 17 in that way, or Super 17 in that way. There's complaints all around about pretty much every aspect of Daima, every aspect of some of these other characters, and then when it comes to Super Saiyan 4, you guys act like that's like the Dragon Ball Bible. Very strange. Um, yeah, and then on top of that, you guys complain when you get what you want, but not the way you want it. Like, you guys first complained that Vegeta didn't get Super Saiyan 3, and that you're like, oh, he skipped it. And people are making jokes like, hey, Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3. I don't get it. I know you don't. And now you're like, oh, yeah, now he has Super Saiyan 3, but you hate it because it's in Daima. You're like, oh, well, I don't like Daima because they're kids. Okay, Goku was a kid in GT. Like, he got turned into a kid through a stupid wish. In fact, it makes more sense him getting turned into a kid in Daima than it did in GT. In Daima, it was actually a plot to make sure that he would be too weak to stop the villain's plans. But in GT, it was some stupid little wish where Pilaf was like, oh man, I kind of wish Goku was a kid again so I could smack him around. But y'all love GT, right? No, no, like seriously, go ahead and explain to me what is so great about GT, and go ahead in the comments. No, like a dead ass. Go in the comments and tell me what specifically about GT you like. And don't mention Super Saiyan 4 because, like, no, because here we are. Like, throughout every conversation with GT, barely anyone ever says anything about Rildo, except when we were talking about characters that would be cool to see in Sparking Zero. Nobody talked about Rildo in any GT conversation before that. No one really cared about Super 17. Like, yeah, he's been in games, but no one really gave a shit about him to that extent. You just want Super 17 so he can get beat up by Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Omega Shenron, as much of a cool villain as he is, he's the final boss, so obviously he's the one people talk about the most. And I don't even think you guys care about Omega Shenron. I think you just like the existence of Omega Shenron because Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta showed up in there. And then we have, Baby, who was before Omega Shenron, but still, you guys talk about, oh yeah, well, Goku fought Baby, and Baby Vegeta. And first of all, the very few fans that Baby Vegeta actually has mostly play him because he just has a cool moveset in the games. Nobody actually likes the character. But on top of that, Super Saiyan 4. That's the glaze. That is the glaze. So, like, just say you like Super Saiyan 4. Stop saying, oh, GT was better. Stop saying, oh, I want GT or we like GT, because you don't like GT. You just like Super Saiyan 4. And then now that we have Daima, the only thing that people are asking about in Daima is Super Saiyan 4 now, which is crazy because, like, y'all don't like Daima. Why are you even watching it? Why do you care? You're like, oh, well, Goku's a kid. And the whole connection is, oh, well, Goku's a kid again, like he was at GT. He got wished to be a kid. So put Super Saiyan 4 in. And the amount of mental gymnastics to try to get Super Saiyan 4 is crazy. If you want Super Saiyan 4, just say that. If you like Super Saiyan 4, just say that. But stop pretending like you don't like Daima, but you like GT, because that's not the case. And that's pretty much it for me. This is just a quick little rant. So like the video, subscribe to the page, leave comments or whatever. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.